Hello, beautiful people. So if you haven't seen the relationships part 1, love yourself, link is here. Click on it and watch that first. It's about loving yourself, because this is relationships part 2, and we're going to talk about loving the other person. So let's get into it. So before we go any further, click the subscribe button, set your notifications to get the alerts when new videos are uploaded, and also like my videos. That way I know what kind of content that you like and I can keep putting it out. So today we're going to talk about loving the other person. So this is relationships part 2. There's 3 parts to every relationship. 1, loving yourself. 2, loving the other person. And then 3 is combining that together and you forming that relationship and loving each other. So I want to tell you my top 3. Now there's a lot more than 3, but my top 3 things that you need to work on in order to love the other person. That number 1, and I always will say it, communication, communication, communication. Communication is key. I know you hear it all the time. It is true. If you cannot appropriately communicate your feelings, appropriately communicate your thoughts and your emotions to the other person, then it can get lost in communication, okay? So whatever you're trying to say to them can get overlooked or misconstrued, or even it can get blown way out of proportion if that's not what you mean. So communication is key. Always communicate. If you cannot verbally communicate with the person, whatever the issue is, get a notebook. Get a notebook, write that down so that both of you can have communication between each other and you can figure out what's going on. And there's no reading between the lines. It is what it is. You wrote it down. There's no, like, written communication has no feelings. However, we put our own feelings into it. So write stuff down, make it as black and white as you can, do I statements. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a whole thing about communication because sometimes it get lost. Communication is key. So for example, my husband likes to tell me things where he just talks about the beginning and the end. I'm not like that. I like details. I want to know what happened in the beginning, the middle, the end, like on the bookends of everything. I want to know it all. Just give me all the details. We do not communicate the same way. But I have to understand that that's how he communicates, and he understands that this is how I communicate and this is what I like from a conversation. So what he'll do is he'll give me the beginning, the end, and then he'll back it up and give me the details along the way, because he knows that's how I like to be communicated with. So communication, figure it out what your type of communication is and tell that person how you like to be communicated with. We are not mind readers. Nobody understands what you think and what you feel and what you want at that time. But if you communicate your needs and if you communicate what you want and how you feel, it makes for a long relationship. If you can't tell the person who you're with your thoughts and feelings and what's going on, you kind of have a bigger problem. It's probably a trust issue. Like, you're not trusting that person, and maybe you have trust issues, period. And that's okay. But talk about it. Talk about those trust issues. You know, when you're building a relationship with somebody, you can give them a little bit, or if you've been in a relationship for a long time and that longevity's there, definitely talk about it. All right, so work on your communication skills and you can have a better relationship, because whether or not you agree with the person, you at least know where they stand. Okay. Number 2 is, I always hear this saying treat others how you would like to be treated. Yes, that is true. But you also have to treat people the way that they want to be treated. You might like to be treated with abuse and neglect. And I'm just going to say it, I'm putting it out there because those are extreme. And some people are okay with abuse and neglect and the yelling and screaming and like just the fighting all the time. Some people, that's normal to them because that's how they grew up, and that is the trauma that they have experienced, and that trauma has become a norm for them. Not that it's okay, but that's how they communicate with others, and that's how they treat others. That's not acceptable. You need to treat people how they want to be treated. If someone tells you that you have disrespected them, respect that. Don't cross that boundary anymore. If someone tells you that something makes them uncomfortable, respect that. Don't cross that boundary anymore. It might not make you feel uncomfortable. It might not disrespect you, but that does not mean that the other person, because of what they're coming into the relationship with and loving themselves, doesn't feel differently from you. So you have to respect how that person feels. Treat others the way that you want to be treated, but also take in consideration that you need to treat people the way that they want to be treated. Okay? So I don't really have that much more on that one. You just have to have a conversation, back to communication, and talk about your boundaries, what you accept and what you don't accept. And then move forward, or, you know, whichever way. Because everyone's actions have a consequence. So whichever way you're moving, move that way. Number 3. Now, this might sound a little corny or whatever, but it's very important. Know your person, whoever it is, know their love language. You can actually, and I'm gonna put the link below, you can go on this website and you can take a quiz, and it has multiple quizzes that you can take for a single person, couples, teens. I think there's even a military one. But it's all about the 5 love languages. And the 5 love languages are words of affection, quality time, acts of service, gifts, and touch. So my love language is, because I have read the book, but I took the quiz as well, and my love language is act of service. Now it has changed over time, because my love language used to be touch, but has changed to act of service. And I think it changed to act of service because of, you know, just maturing and getting older, and my kids, like everything with them, you know, motherhood. So I think that it has changed in that respect because of that, because when I was younger, my love language was touch. It was definitely affection. Like, I wanted that touch, and it has changed. Now I'm gonna have Romel, we're gonna follow this up, you know, with Romel, and and he is going to take the quiz, and he is going to let you know what his love language is, which I can already tell you what his love language is. It's touch. He is very affectionate, and it's that touch. Like, he wants that touch. Mine's act of service. Like, you can get up and you can just do the laundry, and I am like so happy. I'm very happy about that. It's just so sad, but there's so many clothes to do it. But things like that make me happy. So act of service is not necessarily what you say, it's more of what you do. And I'm that type of person anyways. Like, I'm not a talker, I'm a doer. So what you do is more valuable to me, and it shows me more than what you actually say. Those are the 3 things that I would say are my top when it comes to having a relationship with someone else. Communication, which communication will always be my number 1. treating others how they want to be treated, not just how you want to be treated, because we have all experienced something different. We have all experienced different traumas, different, successes in life, and it's different for everyone. We're individuals. And then the third one is knowing your partner's love language. Alright, so if you have any questions, comments, anything, just go ahead and drop me a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to also set your notifications so that you know when Romel and I are doing the follow-up to this video. If you have anything else that you would like me to talk about, let me know. Let's talk about it. I'm going to start pulling some of my friends in and seeing what their thoughts are. So don't be scared. We're just talking. It's just me and a camera. That's it. So I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I will talk to you later. All right? Bye, beautiful people.